family and also for administrative stuff, yes, because it's my civil name. Yeah. Dayton, yes. What? Yeah. Dayton, yeah, but yeah. Mandula. It's also Sri Lankan Sinhalese name, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. I picked it up because I liked it, and I saw it in the play more because my asking name is Pusara Raj. It's like a play more between. I was like, I wanted to have like a French name and a Sinhalese name, my artistic name, like what? So yeah. So no, I don't. Occupation. I kind of took 1 year break of my, let's say, daily life, or not daily, but my usual life in France. And it's, yeah, actually the origin of this year is a bit more complex than that. It was like, this one friend was having a child, and the father is not recognizing the child, right? So at some point she was like, would you like to recognize the child? Like, you're not going to be the father, but if anything happens to me in my life, if I die, if anything very traumatic happens to me, I don't want this child to abandon my parents, so I want someone to take care of this child. And then I was like, yeah, I can do that. Like, so we were saying, like, no, we had this discussion. It was just a discussion, but this discussion put me in the situation of like, what's going to happen to me if I have a child one day, right? And I think, yeah, maybe I could have a child, and maybe I want to have a child as well. But then I'm like, how come I can have a child if I don't know my own heritage and my own culture, right? And that was actually the starting point, one of the starting points. And I was like, yeah, I need to know more about my roots and my heritage if I want to have a child. And because since I've been adopted, I've been like, it's such a rough cut, right? From anything from Sri Lanka, which means like, yeah, I really like know it's changed because I'm here since a few months, but say earlier in my life, I didn't know anything. I didn't even know. I could not even make the difference between Tamil or Sinhalese. If I could see the letters, I could not be able to see the difference. For example, I didn't know anything about the country all my life, right? So, yeah, this is why I was like, no, you have to know about it, and it's great because as an adopted child, I can see how much it's something that I miss, and it's kind of empty space inside of me, and I don't want to replace this kind of empty space as a child. So that was actually one of the reasons of this journey. And then I decided to come here, and I didn't have any plans because I didn't want to have a plan. Because when I came last time, like 3 years ago, I had a plan, and I was like, that's such a neocolonial approach. That's so European-centric to have a plan and to come to a country. And always like maintaining this kind of extractivist approach, which is extractivist, like extraction, and which is basically what the First World is doing to the Third World all the time. It's like you come to the South and you extract things, right? You come as a tourist, you come as a foreigner, you come as a colonizer, you come as a missionary, and every time you will try to extract things and impose things on the land and extract the products, the labor, but also the knowledge, right? You will come, you will learn some stuff, and you go back to a country and you make some profit out of it. So I was like, I'm not sure this is my direction I want to take, and actually that was kind of the direction I was taking last time without my own conscious knowledge. But then I realized that was not what I want to do here. And this is why actually it's not that much a travel for me, but more like or to anchor myself. So I'm not traveling that much actually, and that's one of the reasons. I've already I've been to Sri Lanka before when I visited places, but I also know that when you travel, you put yourself in a certain dynamic that allows you to connect to places and people in a certain dynamic as well. And I'm much more interested to anchor myself and to ground myself here. And I want to have this life feeling actually. I want to feel like I'm living here. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm renting this place, when I'm reinventing it for months. And I have kind of a daily life, and I was taking I'm more or less taking dance lessons in the next house. And my church is also one of my best friends. And I have very, very good friends. And yeah, so I don't have a precise plan, but I also do a lot somehow. Like I was in this dance retreat with you like last week, and I dance on my own. I do a lot of sports. I'm also very interested in dance and martial arts. I still have to find time to do that. And yeah, I do some painting. I would like actually to do a small exhibition before I go. And it would be, I was thinking about it, that I want something like, as well as what we did, something like maybe like work in progress things. Because I think like there's nothing very certain about going back to roots, but it's more like an ongoing movement and process. So I think, or maybe it could be just like a snapshot of like 1 year being here, trying stuff, and painting, photography, videos, and like collecting all that and just arrange it in a certain way to share it with people and maybe have some discussion with people. So that's something that I have in my head and I want to do maybe in the next 3 months. Like, and I will see with who I'm going to do it because I was thinking maybe Alliance Française would be a nice place to do it, but as well, I'm like I'm kind of an activist, so my thoughts and my words are sometimes very critics. And I can be very critical about like white supremacy, colonization, power dynamics and everything. So I don't know, like I have to find also a space who's ready to welcome some like real freedom of speech and real critics and real political critics about life here and like also like what happened to like people like me. And many of us we have been trafficked as child, and many of us has been like stolen, right? And many of us has been, many of the girls' mother has been lied to.